Hey, Waffle Gang, I do hope you well. My name is Mark, and today we're checking out some more relationship stories. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting the like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story, which comes from Throwaway Sunshine from the Am I the A-hole subreddit and says, "Would I be the a-hole if I don't invite my sister-in-law to my birthday? I, female 17, have a sister, Casey, female 22. A stepbrother, Duncan, male 23, is dating Sakura, female 23, and they had a baby at the start of January. A precious girl. Casey and I get along pretty well. She's a bit complicated, but she is a great sister and I love her. Was never really close with Duncan as my sister didn't like him very much, and he also went to live abroad as soon as he turned 18. But he was always very nice with the both of us. Casey has always had some self-esteem issues since she was pretty young. Honestly, both of us are pretty normal looking, but on the chubby side. My sister has always had trouble with that and would make fun of prettier girls, talking about how they're probably stupid and stuff. The thing is, Sakura is a model, literally. You know those girls that you look at in a magazine and are like, damn, I wish I was her. That's literally Sakura. So my sister never liked her, although she is a really kind girl. She also had a wonderful pregnancy and a very easy baby, and I hate to use this term, but she bounced back extremely fast after pregnancy. A week in, and she was in a bikini looking like a goddess with a new baby. My sister hates it. She hates her. She's super jealous and keeps on talking about how it's unfair that girls like Sakura have everything easy, and my mom hates her because my sister hates her. My family has always been big on celebrations, and my 18th birthday is coming, which is a huge deal for them, and my mom and my sister insisting I don't invite Sakura. They want me to invite Duncan, just not her, and I'm a bit torn. I love my sister and would never want to do something to make her feel insecure. On the other hand, it feels wrong to just exclude her, especially because a whole family's in Japan, so she only has my stepbrother here. Also, both family. I don't know what to do. But my mom and sister are pressuring me a lot, and I don't want to make them feel bad. Would I be the a-hole if I don't invite her?" Dumb Rovan comments with replies from OP, so someone says you would be the arsehole. Well, sister needs therapy. Then quotes AP and says my sister says she doesn't believe in therapy, and goes on to say, "Told your sis and mom about how it's not cool to not like people based on their looks." AP says, "I guess I can try." Honestly, I don't think my mom doesn't like her. She just obviously sides with her child and never tells me something really bad, if that makes sense. My sister has always been like this towards other girls, and she hates Sakura. She already disliked Duncan. She blames him and my stepfather for our parents not being together, to the fact that he brings a girl like that to our family is something she hates. It's honestly impossible to talk to her about Sakura without going on a long rant. My stepfather is trying to stay away from everything. Someone asked, "Do you actually want a party?" Opie says we throw parties for everything. I like the idea of having one. It's something I do every year, but with all of this, I'm considering just not having one, going out with my friends. Someone says, "Forget everyone else. Do you want her there?" Obi says, "I don't mind her there. I'm not really close to her as I've never had the chance, but she is really nice and fun. I like her, so I have no problem with her being at my party." There's not much to the story. My sister has always had hatred for any girl she considers prettier, and my mom is the same. My stepdad always describes her as sweet, and I guess it fits her. Whenever she came around, she would bring flowers or a dessert. She's the type of person that makes sure everyone feels included. Someone says, "You want to be the one to cut your stepbrother off," because that's what is going to happen. Obi says, "I'm scared about going against my mom and sister, but it looks like I don't have much of a choice. They, especially my sister, do and say lots of stuff I don't agree with, but I can never bring myself to say much, and my sister doesn't think she is in the wrong. I don't know if that causes me harm though." And this post was voted you would be the a-hole if you didn't invite Sakura, basically because of the sister's insecurities. You can't not invite her because of your sister's insecurities. And a lot of people suggesting therapy for OP's sister to help her deal with those insecurities as well, because it's not a healthy way to live. And like some of those comments were saying there, it's only going to damage your relationship with Duncan and Sakura going forward. And your sister and mom is putting you in that position. It's awful. But then OP updates her post and says, "Forgot I posted this. Figured I could update. Make it short. Things didn't go well at all. I'm not talking to my sister. End up throwing the party. It was like this barbecue thing with friends and family. I had a private talk with Casey and my mom beforehand. Asked him to please not say anything mean. So yes, I ended up inviting both Duncan and Sakura and baby. Honestly said they weren't sure but ended up coming, and family got to meet the baby. She goes to work with Sakura, so is used to being with people. She's really well behaved and so cute. Everyone was all over them, which was okay by me, to be honest. Obviously, my sister and mom couldn't shut up. It wouldn't say anything in front of her, but at first was making fun of the baby's name. It's such a short and cute name. Nothing weird or embarrassing. And about how weird it was that Duncan was doing girl things, which was literally changing diapers and carrying those purses with stuff the baby needs. And it was the same mean comments about Sakura, and things got real awkward when people started asking about her job, and she mentioned a few photo shoots that week. Duncan wouldn't stop gushing about this big thing she was gonna do soon too. It was cute, but both my mom and sister were fuming. I did try to stop them whenever I heard, but I was also in my party talking with everyone. Everything went south when we were in the kitchen and my sister made a disgusting comment to my mom, saying something like the baby was going to be pretty but stupid like Sakura. Can't remember the exact words, but basically that. I'm sure that Sakura heard. A few minutes later, Duncan came and told me that Sakura had a stomachache so that they would leave. Didn't say anything else. I didn't say anything at that moment, but I had a huge fight with both Casey and Mom after the party. I haven't been talking to Casey since then. I still live with my mom. It sucks because Casey is my sister after all. I fucking miss her, but it was so disgusting. I don't know what will happen. I really don't, and I hate it. I did try to bring it up on a call with Duncan once, but he said I don't need to say anything. Both okay with me though, as far as I know. I also didn't say anything to anyone, so yeah, that's all I guess. And someone says time for you to move out, and OP says I'm moving with a friend in a few months. And I'm glad that OP did invite Sakura in the end, because that have only damaged her relationship. I can't help but feel a little bit sorry. I know many people won't, but I can't help but feel, this behavior with her not believing in therapy or whatever, not wanting to go to therapy. She's only going to damage every relationship she gets involved with her attitude towards people, which I just find incredibly sad. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from Frosty Kaleidoscope98 and says, I'm I the a-hole for choosing my sister-in-law over my brother. And does come with an update as well. Me, female 17, brother 29, sister-in-law female 29. My brother Jake, fake name, and sister-in-law Ashley, fake name, have been together since they were 15. They got married when they were 20 and have 3 kids together. Ashley and I have always been close. She's like the big sister I never had. My whole family love and adore her, and her and Jake always seem to have the perfect relationship. A couple of weeks ago, Jake went on a trip with his friends for the weekend because it was one of their birthdays. Ashley didn't go and stayed home with the kids. However, during the trip, Jake only checked in with Ashley once, which was when he arrived at the destination, and never again after that. It was unusual because he's always on his phone and told Ashley and my family that he would check in. Ashley decided to call one of Jake's friends to see if something had happened, but when his friend answered, he told Ashley that there was no trip and he had no idea where my brother was. After that, we told Ashley to come and stay with us for the rest of the weekend as she was a bit distraught. My brother eventually came home on the Monday and said that he had lost his phone, which was absolute BS and we all knew it. Before he returned, we asked Ashley what she wanted to do with what she knew. She told us not to bring it up with Jake and not to jump to conclusions and that she will handle it. After my brother arrived, he and Ashley headed back to their house. A few days later, my brother messaged my mom to see if he could stay at ours for a bit, but he didn't say why. Not too long after, Ashley messaged us and told us that she confronted him about the trip and how she knew it didn't exist. He kept denying it and said that she was just being crazy and that he just lost his phone. He eventually confessed that it was at a co-worker's house and that he'd been hooking up with her for a few months. His excuse was that Ashley and him hardly had sex anymore, and so he needed to find someone to fulfill his needs. Ashley ended up kicking him out, and they decided to get a divorce. My brother ended up moving in with us until he finds a place of his own, and until the divorce is finalized. I haven't spoken to him since he moved in, and I don't plan to. All I can do is look at him in disgust. So much hatred towards him after what he has done to Ashley. My parents are disappointed in him, but still love him because he is their son. They told me to forgive him because he is my brother, but I just can't. I've started going to Ashley's every day after school to help with the kids and take some of the stress off of her. My brother found out about this and is mad at me for going over there. He told me to cut her off since they're not together anymore and says she's no longer a part of our family, so there is no need for me to go and see or speak to her. I told him she will always be a part of our family because she is the mother of your kids. Just because you fucked up your relationship with her doesn't mean I have to. I will always love her, and I will not be cutting her off. I told him I will choose her over you if it comes down to that. After that argument, he has not spoken to me or even looked at me. Every time he sees me, he walks the other way. My parents have told me to apologize and fix things with him, but I don't think that will ever happen. My other brothers have sided with him and all think I'm a piece of shit for choosing Ashley over my brother. Deep down, I still love my brother and don't want to lose him. What he did is unforgivable to me. OP's attitude in this one was pretty amazing that, even though her family was sent to cut ties and all this sort of thing, she's like, nope, I'll be cutting you guys off rather than Ashley at this point. And I think that's pretty amazing, especially going around and helping with the kids and taking a load off Ashley at the same time with everything she's already going through. What is that brother thinking? Said, no, you have to cut ties with Ashley because she's family no longer. Like OP said, she's the mother of his children. Absolute bizarre way of thinking, and the parents for enabling that kind of behavior at the same time. But we'll start in the comments with Chemical Patton, who says, my oldest brother cheated on his wife years ago. She's been my big sister since I was 4. I chose her. And people gave me the, but he's your brother line. I reminded them that she's been my sister for almost as long. My husband and I supported her and opened our home to her when she didn't want to go home. We fed her when she would stop eating. We did our best to take care of her. Sadly, in my case, my sister-in-law chose to get back together with my brother, and they no longer speak to me for different reasons. Thanks 2016 and 2020, but I can live my life knowing that I did what I thought was right, and my integrity is intact. Raspberry says stick with Ashley and dump the family. It's both a damn shame and a huge testament to your character, AP. And at 17, you stepped up when the actual father had abandoned his responsibilities. Well done, AP. Stand your ground and hold that chin up high. What's right is not always popular, and what's popular isn't always right. A heavy burden says, I have 2 brothers where I chose their girlfriend/wife over them, and I have 0 regrets. My oldest brother cheated on and left his girlfriend, even though she lived with our entire family and had a 2-year-old child. She stayed living with us. What did he expect? My parents to kick out their grandson and young girl, brother 19, girl 18, for a cheater? Nah. She used to babysit me. I was 10 and 11, and she was always super sweet and funny. She made me godmother to one of her kids. We were really, really close for a decade after that. Meanwhile, my brother was fine going on drug binges, being an arsehole, and occasionally coming home and treat his kid like shit. My older brother was married for maybe 10 years, something like that. I remember meeting her when they first started dating, getting to know her as their marriage progressed, and nannied their first baby, and I had a falling out with my brother. He was always super cruel and toxic to me. I finally had enough. Fast forward about 5 years, it comes out that he cheated on his wife, was abusive to her. Since then, I've been able to get closer to my sister-in-law and get to know my nieces again, and it's been great. When I was giving birth to my kids and being scared during COVID, I threw birthday parties for them. Who showed up? She did, not him. The bad behavior of men doesn't have to be accepted just because you are blood. If anything, it's best to keep contact and good relations to your sister-in-law. If you want to keep close to your nieces and nephews, you can love him and choose to continue to love her. Porcosaurus Rex says, saying you all need to cut her and the kids out. That's next-level villainy. His kids are really that disposable to him that as soon as she won't stand by a cheater, they're nothing to him and should have no connection to their family. Disgusting behavior. Not the a-hole, really mature and a good person with strong morals. Don't relinquish any of your relationship with her or your nieces and nephews, and quite honestly, shame to your parents. Your brother seems like a selfish, lost cause. Yang says, and quotes, they told me to forgive him because he is my brother. And says, it's not yours to forgive. Simple as that. You want the one he hurt, and you're sticking by the one who was, who incidentally sounds like she's been a part of your family for as long as you can remember. The parents may be able to cut her off without blinking, but she'd been your sister-in-law for 14 years, and you're only 17 years old? Yeah, I wouldn't be so keen to let her go either. You're absolutely not the a-hole, my darling, and I'm impressed as hell by your shiny spine. And one more comment from A. Rose, who said, not the a-hole, your brother is trash and so is your family for justifying it. He's been physically and emotionally cheating on his wife for months, broke his family, and is now abandoning his children. Not only was she his wife, she's his childhood sweetheart and the mother of his children. Even if the separation was her fault, the children are still and will always be your family. Helping her out with your nieces and nephews and providing her with support is literally the best thing you can do. She did nothing wrong, yet she is still the one being punished. She's now alone with no support. The people she thought she could trust abandoned her. Just to figure out a new life plan that involves being a single parent. Just to deal with your piece of shit brother to co-parent. Is hoping the trash gives her an easy out and doesn't drag her divorce in custody. I've nothing to apologize for. Anyone who supports and enables a cheater is trash. And next time they tell you they're disgusting you, remind them to look in the mirror. It wouldn't be reacting this way if they had been cheating on. So then OP comes in with her out there and says, firstly, I just wanted to answer some common questions I keep getting. Is my brother still in contact with his kids? No, he is not. He has not seen or spoken to them since he was kicked out. His own choice. Okay. So, I've not spoken to my brother since our argument. He refuses to talk to me as well as acknowledge me. My parents still insist that I apologize and make things right with him. I've told them I'll try to make things right, but I will not be apologizing. However, my brother does not want to hear anything I say. I've spoken with my parents about everything and how I feel. It was pointless. They don't even try to understand my side of things. It's just all about my brother to them. Ashley and the kids are doing great. A family have come down to support her and help out. I also still go over there whenever I can. My parents have not seen the kids or spoken to them either. Ashley's made it clear that they can visit anytime they like, but because my brother doesn't want us to have anything to do with her, they refuse to go over. Ashley plans to gain full custody of the kids, to which my brother has agreed upon. This was the only time they've spoken to each other since they split up. Ashley is also planning to move closer to her parents, which I'm sad about, but also happy for her and the kids. They deserve to be happy and away from all this toxicity. I don't know if my brother and I will ever fix our relationship, but I honestly don't care anymore. I'm planning to go no contact with him once he leaves. There's not much more to say. My brother is still behaving like a child, and my parents and brother still stand beside him. I will update if anything changes. Thank you to everyone for the kind words and advice. Now, after this story, I had to go back to the original because I wanted to look at those ages again. As one of the comments in a previous one mentioned that OP was 17, and I had to go, wow, that's pretty amazing for a 17-year-old, I thought. And then I was thinking about how the brother is reacting and how old he is. 29 years old. He won't even talk to his sister. Just whenever he sees her in a corridor, he turns his back and walks the other way. How childish can you get in a situation like this? And to totally abandon your children, and a parent to abandon their grandchildren is just like that. Yeah, we're done with it now, move on with life kind of thing. Find that crazy. I just find the parents are just as bad as the brother in this situation. I know he cheated. I know that's absolutely awful in itself, but to turn your back on those children, I just find that mind-blowing. I just find that crazy. But I'm really glad there's at least one decent person in that family, which is, of course, OP, who's still continuing to look out for, their family member who's been with them pretty much all their life. But before we do wrap up this one, I'm going to have one more comment from Purple Flinch, who says, this exact thing happened with my family. Brother cheated. Sister-in-law filed for divorce and get custody of kids, and the family could see them whenever they want. Brother got pissed that I kept in contact with sister-in-law. Parents were too afraid to go against his wishes / deal with his anger. 10 years later, brother is an absent father. My parents have no relationship with grandkids, and brother is still pissed that I go around him to talk to his kids. Oh, and he still lives with my parents. Thankful to say that my sister-in-law is amazing, lets me see the kids whenever I want. It's so wild to see that this is not a unique situation. But I was alone in this, and it's clearly not a unique situation. There's so many comments in that one post was relating to this. It's madness. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's story. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. Truly, it's amazing. And don't forget, at the very end of the video, there'll be a playlist there for you to click on. And you can click on it and it will automatically scroll through all the videos for you. So if you're doing a bit of running, bit of crochet, bit of artwork, bit of painting, bit of decorating, who knows what you're up to. And if you want to share it with me, don't forget to let me know. I'm a right nosy bastard. I'm on Twitter at MartinHoratius. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care. Much love. We got here says far. Wait, he saw my fist no can. Hey, say my smart you dove. As far face on my those eyes the stomach. Day hey wake up. I just want to smoke from the big guy. Let's go. See the sun shining from the window. Okay. I know that's a day. It'll be a good day.